The Super Nintendo is an all-time great console. Providing countless classics like Super Mario World and Super Metroid, the influence the library has had on games is undeniable. A huge chunk of its library is made up of role-playing games, so decades later, which of them hold up and are still worth playing? Let's find out. Combining mature, dense storytelling, impressive world building, and a legacy that would later see the manifestation of the beloved Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together is one of the best tactical RPGs you can play. A gem in their history, Square Enix would later remaster the title in Tactics Ogre Reborn, so players can experience this landmark release in a new and improved way. It's impressive enough that Dragon Quest invented the JRPG, but having multiple entries be in conversation for greatest of all time should speak to this entry and all that come after it. Dragon Quest V is an innovator. Adding a monster taming system that would go on to influence Pokemon, this life-spanning RPG follows a single character in multiple decades of their life, opening up options for marriage and other impressive systems for this 1992 release, which would later go on to get a remake on the Nintendo DS. Another title in the legacy of Square Enix, Secret of Mana is a game of stunning pixel art that allows you to adventure through with a friend in cooperative play. Implementing a real-time combat system, this 1993 RPG stood apart from some of its contemporaries, and it still sets itself apart all these years later in its various re-released forms. Deconstructing the RPG genre and drawing inspiration from coming-of-age tales like Stand By Me, EarthBound subverts all your expectations of what the genre can provide. Mature, thought-provoking, and well-realized humor makes this cast of kids come to life and carve out a place in your heart. One of gaming's earliest huge crossovers, Nintendo and Square teamed up to bring Mario out of his comfort zone and into the RPG genre. Putting Mario in an entirely different setting than he had ever been in, The Legend of the Seven Stars is beloved for its charm, original characters, and semi-active turn-based combat. This is a great entry-level SNES RPG, and with its remake for Nintendo Switch, it's still a great starting point to get into role-playing games. Perhaps the most famous franchise we'll discuss today, Final Fantasy contains an embarrassment of riches for fans of the genre, even within the SNES. Final Fantasy VI stands out amongst the SNES entries as the most celebrated title, elevating the story and presentation, and offering a massive roster of 14 party members. While not as innovative as Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VI still has plenty of folks that will say it's the series' best entry. Taking the greatest creators of the entries discussed so far, Chrono Trigger may stand as the ultimate Super Nintendo RPG, and to many, the greatest RPG of all time. Improving on the turn-based battle system of Final Fantasy VI, with a timeless story of bonds that persist the rules of space-time, full of narrative twists and turns, a flawless pacing, a gorgeous pixel art, and an incredible soundtrack, Chrono Trigger remains a masterpiece that is worth playing whenever you can get your hands on it. There are plenty more great Super Nintendo RPGs, but these are the most popular and have stood the test of time for a reason. Enjoy exploring these fantastical adventures and be sure to stay tuned to Game Rant for more.